Hello and welcome to another video, Living with Alzheimer's, and this is number 14. A little better light this morning than it was last week. I just looked at last week's video and it was a bit dark and gloomy and raining, but this morning it is nice and clear, so that's all good, so hopefully you can see me better. Thank you so much for all your comments and questions during the week. It's really good to know that my videos are doing some good and that people are actually learning from them, and that's a great thing to go with. I'm really pleased about that. Now, one of the questions I get asked quite a bit and during the week was memory and how I deal with memory and memory loss. Now, we all know that it's not the whole thing to do with Alzheimer's. It's not. There are many other elements with dementia, but memory is a big part of it, and I want to try and share today with you what it's like to have short-term memory, as most of us do with this condition. And I suppose one of the best examples to try and bring you into this world is during the week we got invited out to a family gathering, and some of those family members we haven't seen for some years because they live away. And we had this family gathering at a local pub, and the problem with these sort of things, or the problem with any everyday life, is that while I'm there, it's all good and it's all fun. And I had a lovely time. It was great, but I soon forget the whole event. Now, to give you an example, once I've ordered my food, the menus come round, you order your food. As soon as I've spoken to somebody next to me or had a conversation with somebody else, I have completely forgotten what I had ordered. So I have no idea of what I've ordered at all until it comes and my wife will say, yes, that's yours. So I have that, you're talking to someone else, and by the end of the evening, I would have again forgotten what I had eaten, forgotten any of the conversations that happened earlier on, or any of the events that happened earlier on. And in actual fact, by the time I've left an event, by the time I've gone off and 2 or 3 hours later, it's starting to fade away, it's starting to go. And I think the reality of that is that within the next day, a day and a half, I will have probably forgotten who was there, definitely what I had to eat or drink, and in actual fact where it was. The only thing that jogs my memories are photographs that are taken on the evening, so that I know who was there, and that then jogs my memory, but again it is soon gone. And I want you to try and think for a minute that I've heard people say that, you know, live for the day and live for the moment. Well, in actual fact, that's what people like me tend to do. We tend to live in a very short space of time, because in actual fact, we have forgotten what happened yesterday, most of what happened yesterday, and nearly all of what happened the day before. And in actual fact, we probably have no real idea of what will possibly happen tomorrow. So it is very much here and now. And if you can imagine for a moment that every day before today, yesterday has been erased. Most of yesterday never happened. And nearly all of the day before did not happen. It did not exist. It was not there. And that gives you a little idea of what it's like. Now, it's the same as me doing these videos. I have no idea until I watch the last video what was said. I have no idea of how many videos I've done. I have a rough guide, and I just look every now and again and see that there is 12, 13, 14, 15, whatever it is. But life for somebody with dementia is very much the here and now. Now, another example is I go around and do public speaking. I never know where I'm going. All I know is that Christina picks me up in the car and I will say, where are we going today? She will tell me, because I have no idea, even though she sent me emails and there are various other communications that she's done to give me as much information as possible. And when I get there, I'll do my public speaking, but I have no idea of what I'm going to say until I actually stand up. Just the same with doing the videos. It is very much here and now. So as far as the memory thing goes, I think it's basically, you've got to try and imagine, as I said before, that each day has been, the day before has been half erased, and the day before that has been completely erased. They never existed, they never happened. And that will give you a little snippet of what it's like for somebody like me. I mean, I do the videos every Friday at a certain time so that I know that I've done them. If I started doing the videos at different times of the week to put them on today, I would probably end up doing 3 or 4 videos in 1 week, because I'd have no idea that I had done it. Have I or haven't I? And it all gets very, very complicated. So it's very much the here and now. So, and that applies to everything in everyday life. So if you see somebody or you're with somebody who has this complaint, it gives you a little insight as to what it's like to live every day like this. Well, I do hope that's answered the question today, and for all the people that I went out with during the week, I did have a great time. And in actual fact, just one thing I wanted to add. I do remember to a point that I went out and I remember that I had a good time. Because dementia takes away memories, but it doesn't take away feelings. So in actual fact, if I've had a good experience of somewhere, that can be remembered just as much as a bad experience. But the details are gone. But the foundation is still there. So I suppose really, just to add this in, I suppose really people with the condition like mine, with dementia, tend to not remember with our minds so much, but remember with our hearts. We remember with feelings. And that's just one thing that I want to add. And yeah, as I said, I had a great time for all those that were out with us, and it was fantastic. And I'm sorry I've forgotten about it, but you know what? I've got some great photographs, so I won't really forget. I shall remember. Have a great weekend. Have a wonderful week, and I hope that that's just enlightened you a little bit this week. And I'll look forward to having a chat with you next Friday again. All the best. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.